Hello, hello. We're back on the ETBU Sports Net. This is the ETBU Coaches Show. I am Mark T. Robinson, and this is a very familiar face. It's been a while, but we're back here with head golf coach Sydney Harvey, and she just had a big fall tournament, the UMHB Invite, both men's and women's team performing in that one. So, Coach, I know it's been a while, but kind of recap us, kind of talk about, what you thought about your team's performances as they took on the green this past week and a half or so.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a great semester so far. We've kind of been fast and furious. We traveled 3 weeks in a row, which they've never done before, and it does take a toll. But at the same time, they did so well, and both our girls and our boys are just really thriving right now for sure. The girls have just been so consistently getting better and better, and the guys, we've had a couple of guys really perform well and help the team and be able to step up and get us a couple of awards and help us out a lot.
And speaking of that men's team, they finished seventh, kind of in the middle of the pack there. But for kind of this point of the season, it's kind of a decent measuring stick for you. But Hank Crane, Brady Wright, both got into the top 15. How did that impact the guys this past weekend?
Well, I think just for camaraderie, it's amazing. I mean, Hank Crane, with getting top 15, and the week before that, he was awarded the ASC Player of the Week, which is our first one in program history. So I think that's huge for team camaraderie and having everyone step up and want to be that leader and want to be able to have those accomplishments and do well for our team. And then Brady, being a senior, he's really wanting to show out and has continued to show out his whole time here. So super excited for both of them.
Absolutely. And just switching gears a little bit here with your women's team, they finished fifth. They only finished, I believe it was 6 strokes behind UMHB, who finished fourth. So just kind of talk about the consistency in their performance. You didn't get anybody necessarily in the top 10 or 15, but you had 26th place finish, 28, and then 30 after that, and it's just a consistent effort across the board. So just kind of talk about, that aspect of it.
Right. Golf is such a crazy sport with, like you said, we finished 6th, right?
I believe it was fifth.
Fifth.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, pregnancy brain. Okay, we finished fifth, but it's so crazy because we're only a few shots out of the top 3 or the top 4, which is huge. And we have such a young team, and we've had freshmen that have come out and stepped up, and like Mackenzie Pinkston breaking 80 and being able to help us that first day, and then Madison Wally, who has competed every single week and worked her butt off and been able to help the team just continue to get those top 5, top 6 finishes, which is really huge for such a young program. I mean, we have one junior, Callie, but other than that, I think it's just amazing that we continue to get those top 5, top 4 finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing I was looking at, like you said, you have on the women's side a particularly young team, but they're very competitive, and they have really kind of brought that interesting dynamic there, helped you guys in competition. So just kind of talk about overall with this freshman class, did you kind of see this coming this year for them?
No, I really didn't. And you never know how freshmen are going to transition from high school to college. But with these freshmen, they have just shot off. And it really is so stressful because we have 11 girls on our team, but I only travel with 5. And so every week in practice, they're qualifying. I mean, they're playing in tournament, and it's competitive, and it's tough. And, I mean, they're all fighting for a spot. So as much as, the tournaments, it means a lot for them to travel to those tournaments because there's 6 girls that are staying at home. But what I think is so special is that the 6 girls that are staying at home are so proud of the ones traveling. And, once they get back and we start qualifying again, it's game on, and they're going to continue to compete and get better. But our culture is just awesome right now.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of which, kind of talk about how competing in practice to be able to compete in the tournaments has kind of, pushed the team to want to do better, has pushed the team to really kind of pursue wanting to be a part of those tournaments. So just kind of talk about, from the freshman perspective, after coming from in high school, competing, expecting you to compete every week or so, to now you have to earn that right. How has that kind of opened their eyes in a way?
Exactly. I mean, and it's crazy because every single freshman that I have, they were the star on their team. And golf, in women's golf in high school is not as big as I feel like it should be or that it could be. And so they're the big dogs on campus in their high school. And when they get here, you have to start over. You have to start over. And so whenever they have to come here and compete every week and grind it out every week to earn their spot on the team, it just makes us so much better because they know that they're never safe. They don't ever know if they're going to travel or if they're going to stay home. And so I think that just makes them that much more competitive because, they earn that spot. And once they get in an actual tournament situation, they want to perform. And so I just think it makes us competitive, and I think fighting for a spot is so important.
Absolutely, and you guys are going to, I believe, close out the fall portion of your schedule on October 20th in the ASC preview. So just kind of talk about with all the competitions you've had so far. Like you said, you guys have been traveling 3 weeks straight at one point this fall. So just kind of talk about how that is going to prepare you for, ASC play in the future.
Right. So with traveling 3 weeks in a row, we've had to do so much qualifying. The ones staying home are qualifying while we're playing. So it's nice to have a couple of weeks break before the ASC preview. We get to kind of take a step back, look at some stats, do some drill work, do some individual work, and kind of prepare to be able to go and compete at the ASC preview. So I think it's good that they're going to have a little break, but I'm excited to finish up the season in Brownwood, and I think they're going to be ready. They're still super excited and ready to just push forward.
Absolutely. Well, thank you once again, Coach. It's been great having you
Thank
on
you.
once again. And you can hear more from head coach Sydney Harvey and others at goetbutigers.com or follow us on social media at goetbutigers. Once again, Mark T. Robinson, head golf coach Sydney Harvey. We will be back on the ETBU Coaches Show in just a moment.